If you're in the market for someone in the financial services, this industry is not really built well for you. So what I want to do is help you make sure that you find someone that's going to be the right fit for you and not just a salesperson. So we're going to answer a very important question today, and that question is, what does fee only mean? So if you've followed me, you've heard me talk about it from time to time, so you'll know that it's an important thing in my mind. But it's an important thing that you need to know, because we've all seen the invitations that come out where you're invited to a dinner and they're buying you steak so they can give you a sales pitch for an hour, and at the end of that sales pitch they're selling you an annuity. Well, if they're buying a room of 30 people a steak in hopes of getting one person, they've got to be making a lot of money. And where's that money coming from? Well, it's easy. It's coming from the annuity company that they sell you the product of. I think we all kind of know that, and we just instinctively know that if someone's taking us out to dinner and then they're selling us a product, they're getting paid by whoever it is that they're recommending the product for. Fee only, on the other hand, is drastically different in that we don't make commission. As a fee only planner, I never make a commission off of any recommendations I make. Every dollar of revenue I make comes directly from you. It never comes through a third party. So, for example, if I were a life insurance agent selling a whole life insurance policy, or an annuity salesperson selling an annuity, you would pay the annuity company all of your money. They take the fees and they would take however they charge you out of that, and then they would pay us out of that. Well, the problem with that becomes, who gives the higher commissions? So when I was in the sales days and I saw what commissions look like, I will not lie to you. Like, a lot of commissions are 3, 4, 5%. So if you're moving over $100,000 of your investments to an advisor, you're paying them $5,000. But that's not all. Like, the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we're talking 7%, 8, and on some of these really complicated annuities, specifically like fixed indexed annuities, you could be talking anywhere up to even 15% commission. So imagine a $500,000 account where you're getting a 15% payday on that just for selling it and then being done, never having to talk to that person again. So that's a broker, and that's how brokers work. Fee only, again, we don't work that way. We don't make a commission. If you give me money to manage, you pay out of your account or via a check directly to me, and you get an invoice so you know exactly what I'm making to the penny. If we don't manage any money, you write me a check and we negotiate, we agree on what the fee is ahead of time and what the services you're going to receive in exchange are ahead of time, and you write a check so you know exactly what I'm getting. And then at the end of the day, if you go your own way, it doesn't affect my pay because I've serviced you, and it doesn't affect your results because I'm not selling you something just for the purpose of getting a continued fee off of that investment. So a lot of these mutual funds and annuities and things like that, not only do they pay an upfront commission, they also pay a yearly trail that gets paid out once a quarter. So you know, that when advice from a fee only planner comes, that advice from a fee only planner is for you. And this industry, like I said, it's not made for you. It's not made to be simple. It's not made to be easy. So there's a real confusing couple phrases in that I'm fee only, but there's also a phrase that's used a lot called fee based. Now, fee based, all that means is they have the ability to charge a fee. That's it. They can still broker everything. They're still working through all these brokerage companies and what are called broker dealers and insurance companies to receive commissions. But they have the ability to also charge a fee. So if you're sitting with someone and they say they're fee based, a very important question for you to ask is, how much of your revenue comes via fees and how much of it comes via commissions or sales charges or loads or any of these other fancy words where you're getting paid by someone other than me, the client? You have to ask that question to know the difference. And I'll tell you, the sad thing is, a lot of people in the financial planning business don't know the difference either. I get recruiters calling me saying, we would like you to come work for me, and I tell them, no, I want to remain fee only. And insurance companies will tell me that they have fee only offerings, which they can't because they're an insurance company. They're paying commissions. So really the difference between fee only and fee based is, fee only, you pay every penny. Fee based, they're double dipping. They're getting their money in both ends of it. And the other question then that comes down to it isn't just whether they're fee only, fee based, or completely commission, because you could be anywhere on that spectrum, completely fee, completely commission, or somewhere in between. But the other question that's really important is, when do you act as a fiduciary? So our lawyers watching this video, you know what a fiduciary is, but most people don't. Fiduciary means a person who's legally responsible to act in your best interest. I'll steal kind of a church word or an old English word. It's kind of like a steward. When am I required to act in your interest? When am I required to be your steward? When am I required to be your fiduciary? It's kind of what it means. So a fiduciary is legally required to act in your interest. As a fee only planner, every client of mine is under a fiduciary agreement where I am legally bound to act in their best interest. Whether it pays me more, pays me less, doesn't matter. I'm legally required to act in their best interest. And I have to show them, and I'll do a more in-depth video about this later. I have to actually show if they disagree with me and they ever try to litigate and say I overcharged or I gave bad advice, I have to then be able to show that this advice I gave them at the time was the best advice that I could give, and why. Whereas if you're a commission salesperson or a fee only or a fee based salesperson, anytime you're in that commission relationship where a commission trades hands, you do not have to act as a fiduciary. You have to act in what's called best interest, which means that, and actually not even best interest, but suitability standards is what it's called. Best interest is a new thing that's coming out. Just came out in the last couple of years, really. But suitability means that you have to just show that it works. It may not be the best, but it works. I didn't do any harm. It's not bad for you. It's suitable for you. Michael Kitsis, who's a blogger and an influencer in our industry, in my industry, puts it the best way I've ever heard it said. A broker has to make sure that if you want a suit, you get a suit. A fee only planner has to make sure you get a suit that looks good on you. So I'm not selling any powder blue suits in 2022. Just not going to do it. We can't. I'm fiduciarily required to give you the best suit you can have. So a couple things you need to know, and these are really important things to know. First, you have to know that you need to work with a fee only planner. Like, these commission salespeople, a lot of them might be good, but that side of the industry is not good. So it's not a great place for you to be. You need to work with a fee only planner, whether it's me or another one in the area or virtual, it doesn't matter. Just please, when choosing a planner, choose fee only. Second thing you need to know is watch out for these fee based ones. The ones that kind of say, oh, yeah, well, I'm fee based. That's okay. Or they'll say, I'm fee only, but they don't really know what it means. So you have to do the research and you have to ask, and you have to ask this question right here. Do you ever get commission for selling me a product? Life insurance, annuities, mutual funds, anything along those lines. Do you ever get a commission? And fee only is so strict that I don't even get free lunches. Like, that's how strict it is. If someone came in here from an insurance company or a mutual fund company that said, I want you to use your funds, I'm not even taking lunch from them. So that's how strict fee only is. Fee based, not that way. They can still charge you a fee and still take a commission. But really the question you want to ask more than anything else is, are you a fiduciary? You want to make sure that and not just are you a fiduciary, but are you a fiduciary at all times in our relationship? Because if you're not a fiduciary to you, then they're a fiduciary to the company that's paying them. Believe it or not, that's the truth. If I worked for a broker dealer and I sold investment companies, I'm a fiduciary for that broker dealer. I have to act in their best interest every time. So someone who's at a broker dealer or someone who is an insurance agent, they can't act in your best interest because they're legally required to act in their employer's best interest. Can't stress how important this information is for you to understand. So if you have questions or if you know people that are in the market, you got to hit this like button. You have to hit the share button. You have to ask those questions down below. I watch comments, so if you ask, I'll answer them. Have a great day. Always look for a fiduciary fee-only planner.